What is going on, everybody? It is Ryan Heath with Fantasy Points here, and welcome back to Data Points. This is a show where I walk you through exactly how to win at DFS, at your prop betting, and dominate your seasonal fantasy football leagues. And I'm going to do all that by using the Fantasy Points data suite. Last week, we hit big on Jameis Winston and K. Dotton, so let's keep it rolling. Let's do it again. What?
Why are you shaking your head?
You're welcome.
Starting with data point number one, we are going to talk about this Chargers pass rate. It has come way up over the last 2 weeks. We are looking at the weekly pass rate over expectation report. So the Chargers have had the fourth highest pass rate over expectation over the past 2 weeks. That is up from them being at the bottom of the league over the first 6 weeks. So Greg Roman, Jim Harbaugh have decided Justin Herbert can throw the ball a little bit as a treat. And that's really, really good news for the Chargers pass catchers, specifically Ladd McConkey, who we're going to get into. But first, let's take a look at the coverage matchup here. So the Cleveland Browns play the third most man coverage in the league. That is the important thing to remember. They've played a ton of it in like 7 out of their 8 games. It's just what they do. They're pretty stubborn. So we want to know how a player like Ladd McConkey performs against man coverage. We can do that. We're going to go over here to advanced receiving. I have already gone ahead and set this up. So we're filtering for just man coverage. You can click that button and do it. Click apply and look at that. Ladd McConkey, 4.18 yards per route run against man coverage. That's second behind only Justin Jefferson this season. Yeah, that's kind of insane that he's been this good. He's such an incredible man beater. If we move over here to fantasy points per route run, we can see he also ranks second in that against man coverage. Yeah, just play Ladd McConkey against those man-heavy matchups. He is going to destroy them. Another thing that I want to cover, because anytime you've got a player playing the Browns, you need to be aware, okay, the Browns get a lot of pressure, right? So we're here in our O-line, D-line matchups tool. Scrolling all the way down to the bottom of the pass grade is the Chargers. They have the worst pass grade in our line matchups tool this week because, again, yeah, the Browns just get a ton of pressure. They have the highest pressure rate in the league right now at 45%. For most players, pressure is bad. Not Ladd McConkey. Does not matter for him. He sees your pressure and he laughs. So right now I have this set up to show us only dropbacks on which the quarterback is pressured, QB pressured. Yes, you can see that here. I've just sorted by first read target share because Ladd McConkey has a 55% first read target share when Justin Herbert is pressured this season. That is absolutely insane. Only AJ Brown has a higher pressured first read target share. And you can do the same thing as we did earlier with the fantasy points per route run. Top 3 in fantasy points per route run on pressure dropbacks behind only AJ Brown and George Kittle. So whenever the Browns are bringing the pressure or bringing these man blitzes, that is Ladd McConkey's specialty. He's going to absolutely destroy this weekend, and I can't wait to play him in all formats, including in DFS. All right, time for data point number 2. We are going to pick on the Buffalo Bills once again in a running back matchup. So longtime data points watchers might remember the Bills give up a lot of targets to opposing backfields. They have allowed a 21.6% backfield target share. Again, we're here in advanced receiving defense view for those who are curious how you get here. And also, you might say, okay, well, Achane's playing the Bills. Yeah, he's seeing really good target shares, but he's also playing from the slot a lot. He's not getting all of his targets from the backfield. He is essentially Miami's wide receiver 2, splitting out wide, splitting into the slot. Well, that's totally fine because the Bills are allowing the 6th highest slot target share, 37.1% there. And what I've also done here is under targeted alignment, if you just want to select backfield and hit apply here, we'll also be able to see how many receiving yards per game the Bills allow to opposing backfields. Look at that. It's the most in the league. 50.4 receiving yards per game to opposing players lined up out of the backfield. So that's pretty crazy, right? Just in terms of a matchup for Devon Achane, he has the best receiving role of any running back in the league right now, maybe next to Alvin Kamara. I just want to hammer home how good Achane has been as a receiver. And to do that, we're going to go here in advanced receiving. Same type of alignment filter, except this time I've got only out wide and slot routes. I've gone ahead and just thrown running backs and wide receivers into this. When you hit apply there, you're going to see sort by yards per route run. Devon Achane, 2.79 yards per route run when he lines up as a wide receiver, either in the slot or out wide. That ranks top 8 above guys like George Pickens, like Terry McLaurin, like Chris Godwin. He's been insane. He has outplayed Jalen Waddle as a receiver this year. Yeah, it's just nuts. I don't understand how Devon Achane is not going to be on like 50% of DraftKings rosters, but I am not complaining. And it gets even better because this is also a good rushing matchup. Back here in our O-line, D-line matchups tool, we've sorted by rush grade. The Dolphins have the 4th best rush grade this week. That's because the Bills are allowing a lot of yards before contact per attempt. Top 5, 2.48 in adjusted yards before contact per attempt. That benefits the run game as well. So yeah, that's it. Devon Achane, every week is a smash Devon Achane week, but this week is even more so. All right, data point number 3. We are moving over to the Cardinals and the Bears. So this is going to be a little bit more of a contrarian type of play. I don't think there's going to be a lot of people on the Cardinals in DFS this week. But very importantly, the Chicago Bears ranked top 5 in rate of single high looks on defense this year, 59.8%. Also want to point out for cover 3, they also ranked top 5. So more specifically, cover 3, a 40.6% rate that the Bears have played on defense this year. What's that mean for the Cardinals? I'm going to show you. So we're here in advanced receiving. I've gone ahead and filtered by only single high looks. And you can see, oh, look, Marvin Harrison Jr., top 12 in yards per route run against single high this season. It's the same thing if we go over here as we've been doing this entire video and also sort by fantasy points per route run. Marvin Harrison, still top 12 against those single high looks. He's very sensitive to single versus 2 high looks. Not super surprising for an alpha outside type of wide receiver. And he's been getting kind of more varied routes. I had a tweet out about that earlier this week. He's not only running go routes anymore. It's nice. They let him run some posts as well, and he's much more efficient on those. So yeah, Harrison is looking very good schematically. What about Trey McBride? Here in advanced receiving, except this time I've just specifically gone into cover 3 and filtered by that. And you can see, wow, Trey McBride, among all wide receivers and tight ends, ranks top 5 in yards per route run against cover 3 this season with 3.81. And it's even the same with fantasy points per route run, top 5 there as well, right behind Jaden Reed, ahead of George Pickens. That one was particularly surprising to me because Trey McBride has been getting so many targets this entire season, but he just hasn't scored any touchdowns. So you would think the fantasy points per route run would punish him for just for not scoring, but against cover 3, it hasn't. He's absolutely been shredding those looks. And then finally, I want to talk about Kyler Murray himself too against cover 3. So we're here in the QB coverage matchup tool. What this kind of does is we'll just show you the efficiency of each QB against various coverages. So I've just sorted here by the coverage matchup grade. This is the boost that you would expect from the QB, given all of the different coverages that the defense they're facing plays. So Kyler has the second best coverage matchup here. And if we just scroll over to cover 3, you can see, look, the Bears are playing a lot more cover 3 than Kyler has faced so far this year. That's the QB cover 3 percentage. And against cover 3, Kyler 0.76 fantasy points per drop back. That actually leads all quarterbacks against cover 3. For whatever reason, that's just been his shell this year. He's been cooking it with Trey McBride, with Marvin Harrison. Obviously, the Bears are a very tough defense. As I was saying, this is going to be more of a contrarian type of stack. I'm not sure I would even be taking props for the Cardinals. But if it hits, it's an interesting and smart kind of schematic angle to try to get different in an intelligent way. So that's it for the data points this week, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now that you've seen how powerful the Fantasy Points data suite can be, make sure you go to data.fantasypoints.com to sign up for access to the data suite for yourself. Again, we have a standalone data suite subscription, or we have the all-in package. That gets you access as well to my DFS picks and my prop bets informed by stats just like the ones in this video. Good luck in week 9.